Okay, everybody, back again. Let's take the time to explain the vacuum pump. The vacuum pump is a device that lowers the boiling point, causing the refrigerant and any non-contaminants in there to drop in pressure and boil off, or basically heat up and melt away, getting the air, moisture, anything that's left in that system out. Any single time you open up that system, you have to pull a vacuum. Anytime there's a possibility of contaminants, you have to pull a vacuum, getting it down. So now the grab this. Sorry about the wonderful video quality, but vacuum only requires 3 hoses, as with the recovery pump. For this one, you take your middle hose or your common hose and just go directly to your port. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to pull a vacuum on this right here. And I think we talked the other day about that number 500 microns. You better believe that number is going to be on that test. 500 microns. And I think you have to hold for 15 minutes. So I don't, with me right now, I have a micron gauge, but I am just going to go ahead and show you how the vacuum works. So we are hooked up. Go ahead and open up both sides of your gauges. Go ahead and kick on. And vacuum pumps have a valve, an in and out valve release. Make sure it's always in the off position when you start. So we'll hit on, open, and now you're pulling your vacuum. So if you remember, on our suction side, or our low gauge, we've got our 0. This is all negative. We're going to pull down to a 29.99999 vacuum. And that's in the negative side, causing that suction. And by doing so, you're lowering the pressure, lowering the boiling point, letting everything in there boil off. So everything will boil off at a real low pressure. We all talked about water boiling off at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, but that is at 0 sea level at 14.7 atmosphere. So when we drop this down, water can actually boil off at a much, much lower temperature. So at this point, normally what you would do is you would set up a micron gauge to monitor this. It'll get down to 500 microns, and you're going to want it to hold. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you how this will get down and hold. We're down to 29.999. You will not get a perfect 30. Your gauge may show it, but it's not going to be there. You're going to want to let this run for quite a while, depending on the conditions of the machine, how many contaminants are in it. It may run 20 minutes, it may run 20 hours. It just all depends on what you're actually trying to accomplish. So to speed this up, we will do this. So now that we've got it down to the 30, or the 29, I'm sorry, shut that off. Shut this one off. Okay, that's off. Close valve, turn off. So everything from this point forward is in a vacuum. Now, what does that actually mean? Without a micron gauge, we don't know, but if we had a micron gauge, we could do it. This is going to be down into, if I had to let that run all the way to 500, you could pretty much call that tank clean, but I keep it fairly clean anyway. So that's a vacuum pump. We will go over some other stuff. Again, these are just kind of quick. Feel free to bounce back and forth and watch, but you'll see here that we are in this negative. So on the test, 29.99. All right. And that's in the negative side. So remember, 0 equals 14.7 PSIA. Add that to your PSIG for your total. Subtract it away for your negatives.